everyone, and welcome to episode 29 of the Hubcast. As you can see here, joined on this couch, we have Jared, but I think Dan is still going to break the illusion somehow. This episode of the Hubcast is actually brought to you by Blue Apron. We'll be chatting about them a little bit later. But oh crap!
Jared, I'm so sorry, Jared.
That just made it so much worse because you just like stepped right.
All right, I'm here with my friend Jared.
Oh my goodness!
Good.
How you doing?
That actually works out pretty well. I think we should start trying to get more people called in on here so we can just put faces on them.
Seriously,
But just keep that body.
Keep that
body's
body,
perfect.
everybody's body.
Yeah.
Oh,
Why
yeah.
don't I have a mic though?
Because then it would look really weird to have a mic that's like clipping through
You
you.
can borrow it. There you go.
That works.
There we go.
For the audio
Perfect.
listeners, they don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah,
Jared's
so-
joining us.
So Jared's joining us. You can hear him, but we have him for the video version. I guess you can call it composited or superimposed, as most people say,
Yeah.
onto the video. So it looks like he's kind of here, but it's a horrible stock image of a guy's body with Jared's head on it.
I like the body. I think he looks relaxed and happy, and I love
Such
his
a beautiful guy.
style.
And I can put my finger in his ear and give him a wet willy.
Oh, stop it.
Oh, it's so weird.
Oh, stop. No. So Hubcast for this week. We actually saw a movie that came out that, you know, because we're usually pretty bad about seeing movies. I just saw Guardians.
I think we've been all right recently. I mean, you guys have been a little wishy-washy.
haven't missed.
We need to
I've
get
been
our
pretty
shit
good with
together.
most of the major releases. I've been
See,
trying
because
to.
what's come out recently? Like I haven't
Like
seen
Alien,
Pirates. I haven't
Pirates,
seen Alien.
Alien Pirates.
Took us forever to see Guardians. But
Wonder
we finally
Woman,
saw that.
Guardians. I hadn't seen John Wick, but that just came out on Blu-ray.
Yeah. Did you finish watching it?
No, I haven't watched it yet.
Goodness.
Excuse
I
me.
need
Oh,
to
good.
goodness.
Yeah, it's pretty darn good. Dan was like, it wasn't that good when I was watching it.
Let's talk about
Yeah, Dan was
it.
complaining
No,
about
I
it.
didn't say that at all.
Yes, he did.
Jan Wick.
Wait. Are you gonna go back to the point? of what
Yeah.
we were talking about?
Yes, I was gonna say we actually saw Wonder Woman.
Yeah, you guys actually saw Guardians too, but we talked about that last week. didn't we?
I don't need to talk about Guardians again.
Yeah, so you guys are actually kind of catching up somewhat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. It was
At least the superhero fair.
Yeah, it was pretty good though. I saw it as like my two favorite Marvel franchises are Thor and Captain America, and it's basically a combo of them both.
Set in
But-
World War One. So that's pretty cool too.
So it's kind of got the World War, it's got the war aspect and the shield aspect of Cap, whereas it's got the mythology tie-in with Thor.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it was really cool though. I really enjoyed it.
I loved it. I had a really good time with it.
Yeah, I liked it a whole bunch too. I thought the characterization was really great. All
Yeah.
the characters are
It was
fantastic.
really funny too. Like they had a lot of really great comedic moments. There was
Chris
really
Pine
good
was really funny.
dialogue.
Gal Gadot was really funny.
I'm obsessed with Gal Gadot.
yeah,
at this
she
moment.
was really good.
She fit that role like perfectly.
Yeah, and then, like I think it hit all the tones very well too. Like she was serious at points. She was kind of like very naive at points and
Loving
didn't
and
know about
nurturing when needed to be.
didn't know about our loving. Like it's just very nice. It's a nice message for the movie too. I like
It was. I liked it a lot. Jared, you need to
Dan,
go see it.
no, I'm going to. So you're saying that they actually allowed humor because I thought DC wasn't allowing humor after all that Batman shit.
Well, I mean,
They're
everybody
like,
laughed after the Martha line. Wasn't that pretty good comic relief?
So
Right,
they
Jared?
are. I mean, well, yeah, that Martha line was amazing, and Batman and Superman. You know, I'm a huge fan of. But I mean, DC. Most of the DC movies have been shit.
Yeah.
I'd say
And-
Suicide Squad's definitely the weakest of them all.
I mean, I would say it's weak, but it's not that much weaker than Batman versus Superman, which was just visual diarrhea.
Visual diarrhea.
That's an interesting description.
Wow.
I mean, it didn't.
It did
I
have
just-
moments where I was like, "Oh, this would look cool," so we're just going to show it. Particularly with that montage with Superman in the middle. But
Yeah, it was like they went to the Michael Bay School of Film, and they're like, just throw in as much crazy explosions and stupidity,
So you
and
had-
then let's make a story around it. So this Wonder Woman, it sounds like they went away from the DC theories. Or tent poles that they're like, make it super
It
serious,
felt like
make
a
it
Marvel
super dark.
movie.
Well, then that's why it's going to be successful.
yes.
Okay, Dan's
Well,
pausing everyone
Dan's-
right now.
Okay.
So for the most part, Wonder Woman sets itself out of that mold for 2/3 of the movie. The last third is Batman v Superman ending. Like it's very much like that. And Zaddy makes the best diarrhea. Alex is in the chat. Zaddy, Zach Daddy. Yeah, no, that's it definitely is. That fight at the end, like the end climax, is a little. I don't know. I wasn't super into it. Some of it was good, but some of the green screening was a little weird.
Well, there's a few shots in that entire movie that were a little weird.
Yeah, there was some wonky stuff. A lot of people didn't mind it though. A lot of people said in their reviews that it didn't really take them out of it. It was more so just comic booky and stuff like that I saw.
Yeah, some of the shots were legitimately bad.
Yeah, there was some weird CGI at points. There was one shot particularly early on that I think was probably the worst. During the battle on the beach and stuff, but it was a good movie. I thought some of the villains were a little weak and kind of just generic. And so when a lot of people were saying this is a step in the right direction, certainly character wise, but I don't think like story wise it really went in anything new. I thought it was a little bit more generic. Villain wise, but overall the film was really great. It has some really wow moments. Like everybody's talking about the trench sequence, like the airport scene in Civil War or something like that. Yeah, I did. I was seeing that. And that's one of the best parts of the movie.
One of my favorite parts too. Yeah.
She kicks some ass.
Really
I think
she always is kicking ass.
The score is really weird. The Wonder Woman theme does not fit in with the score of the rest of the movie.
They can't abandon that theme. It's kind of like in the trailers when it's like playing all this really good music and all of a sudden it cuts to the. It's like, okay,
music,
well, I know it's cool in Batman vs Superman, but
when you have a movie that its entire score is more of a traditional score sounding thing and not electric cellos, then that's when it really comes.
A lot of that, the coolest scene in Batman vs Superman, Jared, and you might. I don't know if you agree on this one, but when Batman actually got into some action, that when he was trying to save the mom,
that fight sequence is probably one of the best Batman fight sequences committed to screen.
Most of the Wonder Woman fight sequences are like.
Yeah.
It's shot with a really wide angle, kind of like really sweeping shots of a lot of the action. It's really
cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
You've seen it in the trailers. Like there's a lot of that kind of like brief slow-mo moments that kind of accentuate points and. CGI's during that is pretty good for the most part. That sweeping leg shot though looks a little weird. Her face looks like a clay thing. They showed it in a lot of the previews, but I remember is that the final effect? I hope it isn't.
I must have been so just engulfed in what was going on because I don't remember any of these CGI things. I just was like, loving every
happens
second.
pretty quick.
Yeah, your average viewer is gonna just watch the movie, not critically bash it the way that a bunch of nerds like us would do. I mean,
that makes sense.
I'm sure that a lot of people are gonna be like, yeah, it's a fine movie. I mean, people thought Superman was an okay movie. I mean, there's plenty of stuff that people just look past, but I think critical nerds that have been reading the comics for 100 years or watching all the numerous reboots and just going like, this better be fucking better.
Yeah.
I'm actually really excited for it.
Yeah, no, you should be.
It's
I think
fun.
it's
It's a good time.
Yeah.
pretty good. It seems to be universally loved by Marvel and DC fans, which is, I'm very happy about that. I may have little issues with the movie, but for the most part, it's a really fun ride. I really liked it.
Kind of worries.
I think that's the thing. That's what pisses me off. Like, I feel like the Dark Knight movies were fine. I know people, consider them the best movies, Dan.
Well, they just changed the landscape a little bit of the superhero film.
It absolutely did. I mean, it broke the hero's journey and all that stuff. I think the Heath Ledger one was great, but it made it better that Heath Ledger died filming it, just like The Crow did for Brandon Lee. But there's a lot of things.
There's an element of that. I mean, that's a movie going back to Dark Knight, and I really love The Crow. So I both those movies I go back and I watch. I think their performances both were exemplary. I thought they were obviously Heath Ledger did something crazy different with the Joker, and people still love that movie despite him dying. But it added to the hype around the time.
But here's the deal. I feel that Heath Ledger and rest in peace. But I feel like he just did Willy Wonka.
Anarchist Willy Wonka.
Yeah, he did
Willy Wonka.
He did.
That's certainly an
Johnny
idea
Depp,
for
Johnny
the Joker.
Depp, Willy Wonka. That's when I saw it, I was like, yeah, this is great, and I heard all the hype, and then when I saw it, I was like, he's doing Johnny Depp Willy Wonka. That's awesome.
Parlor tricks.
And parlor tricks. I mean, it's one of those things where I feel
I don't think it's the same.
There's elements of it. But I also feel like the movie was so fucking hyped because I saw it maybe 2 months after it came out. And so it's like, holy shit, this is going to be the best movie ever. And there's like, okay, it's I don't know. But I'm just happy that, the success of The Dark Knight really spawned the comic book scene. I mean, because when Dark Knight was out, that was when Marvel was still doing like
Iron Man just came out a little bit after that, I believe.
And to go to the Marvel was putting out shit like Marvel. All of the Hulks. Punisher War Journal was the I feel the turning point. Warzone, it was the turning point for Marvel movies, because I saw that, I was like, yeah, this is actually the best Punisher that they put out.
It's pretty
good. And
then
they put out Iron Man, and you're like, holy shit, this is amazing. And then Dark Knight came out; those were great. But what I feel DC did was like, okay, Dark Knight's super dark and
dark and gritty was their gritty, mantra,
and that was exactly their mantra. And it was like they're putting out fucking Green Lantern and shit like that, and then they just keep that terrible mantra, while DC or Marvel's kicking out like amazing movies that are more of the canon of the comic books, because comic books, sure, there's Vertigo comics and like hardcore DC stuff, but like Batman the comic book isn't always fucking dark, killing Joker. It's there is humor to it.
Yeah.
And so DC just kind of lost their voice of like, okay, everything's gonna be super dark and terrible. And that's what I'm happy that this Wonder Woman changed.
That's definitely what separates it.
And Wonder Woman has a very bright outlook on life in the world and
awesome.
all
really
that stuff.
Great.
So it's and apparently from what they've said, believe it or not, take it with a grain of salt or whatever, if you believe them or not. But they were saying it was always intended that Batman v Superman would be kind of the really dark movie, and then it would lighten up after that, because that was about a very dark subject, and no matter what, they were going to lighten it up. So that's why with Justice League, you see a lot more jokes, you see a little bit more sense of humor. Bruce Wayne saying, I'm rich, that's my superpower, is hilarious. And I think there's a lot of really good elements going towards that.
Yeah, it seems like Aquaman's going to, Stefan mentioned this, it kind of seems like he's going to be the Drax of
he definitely could be.
He looks like he's going to be the comedian.
That part where he's
crew.
like riding on the Batmobile, and he's just like,
yeah.
He's kind of
that was hilarious.
Not as comedic as Drax, but definitely is kind of just like a recluse that kind of comes in and
literally
just,
fish out of water.
But then Cyborg's like CG. Oh,
yeah. It's early on. Maybe I hope they make it better.
But then again, like you said it for the Wonder Woman thing, I hope they adjust it, because that stuff looks so bad.
But recently, the news with that, I don't think we've talked about it on the podcast, but Zack Snyder, because of family tragedy, had to step out of directing the reshoots for, and also finishing Justice League. So Joss Whedon's going to take over the reshoots, and he's going to finish the movie to succession.
Really?
Yeah. But following Zack Snyder's plan, apparently, they already have a set thing they're going to do. Okay. But Joss Whedon's going to finish it off. Because he's joining the Bat universe with my phone is not silenced. He's joining the Bat universe, directing the Batgirl movie, which should be pretty damn good.
Batgirl, who's Batgirl?
Interesting. Batgirl? Who's
Barbara?
Batgirl? Yeah, Barbara Gordon.
Barbara.
I mean, like, who right now is going to be
Commissioner?
playing?
They haven't cast her yet.
They haven't
cast her. They're supposed to be. They're doing a Nightwing movie with the director of the Batman Lego movie. They're doing. They're filming Aquaman
still
now.
Haven't seen the Batman Lego
They still
movie.
haven't got a director for Flash. Last they were talking about Robert Zemeckis, who
But I
was
do love
apparently
that
taking
actor
meetings.
that's playing the Flash.
Yeah, Ezra Miller.
Yes, I like him very
he looks
much.
pretty good.
So I hope he would do good.
He's hardly been in the movies so far, but
should be interesting. I guess we'll just see how Justice League turns out after they had a success with Wonder Woman.
Yes.
At this point, do you think there's going to be a month from now, there's like a news article that comes out, $50 million reshoots for it because they feel like it's too serious?
Oh, Justice League? Oh no, I think that at this point. Well, no, they're doing the reshoots now. They're already
doing reshoots now.
Apparently, Joss Whedon was brought in to do rewrites, and he was working with Zack on that. And then
Joss
Zack
Whedon
Snyder,
is?
yeah. I was talking about.
Okay.
He's coming in to direct the rest of the reshoots and finish the movie.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's crazy. I love Joss Whedon.
he was brought in, and then I guess a few months ago, Zack Snyder's daughter had committed suicide, and he was trying to finish the movie, but apparently needed to take a step back. So I completely understand that, and
That's understandable for sure.
Him and his wife is his producing partner. Apparently, it was his daughter to a different marriage, but still his family shaken up.
Still his fucking kid.
No, it's I couldn't imagine. So
just like you assholes are my kids still.
There you go. Aww. Kids from other mothers.
Thanks, Dad.
Yes. Oh, Daddy.
So weird. You
Dan
can't-
motions to try and hug Jared, but Jared is not there, so he just hugs
I
Jared.
wish we could put my hand through and you just go, and it's like a hologram thing.
That'd be cool.
Like a Tron hologram.
That'd be so cool. Well, that's like you have the tip jar on the Twitch thing. I wish I could just put my hand in it
Oh
and just,
yeah,
like,
and just
slap
kind of
the shit
jostle
around.
it.
Slap
Well,
stuff.
I'm sure there's some cameras out there. Like I know a lot of webcams actually do that, where
Track
they have
stuff.
tracking stuff, so you can
That's
like push it
next level
around.
shit right there.
Yeah, it's possible. It's just kind of early stages right now.
Hump Bear just subscribed.
Hey, Hump J Bear.
Hump J Bear.
Subscribe. Hump J
Forgot
Bear.
that.
I saw Hump J Bear say something earlier that caught my attention. He was saying that like he feels like Batman versus Superman would have worked a lot better if Batman could have stayed as dark and serious and tragic as he was if the Superman was a little bit lighter and a little bit brighter and a little bit more humorous than he was. But
Yeah, that's
he's
true.
more. But then he was saying he's more miserable than Batman is. So it kind of just
Yeah, the Superman is a lot more ponderous. I hope they get
Yeah.
a little bit more fun with it going on and moving
yeah, he's
forward.
It's- Yeah, it's weird. It's almost like have you guys played the DC Injustice?
I played the first
Dan
one.
did.
No, Dan
So,
has.
Recently.
so it's as if they're just stealing Injustice storylines because Superman in that
Kind of
is
is. Well, that's
is
from the
super
comic
bad,
books as
and
well,
he's-
somewhat.
and he's yeah, I mean, but Superman's gone. How
Yeah,
old is
probably.
he? 90 years old. I mean, it's like they have to rewrite so many different things and make him bad or
Oh, yeah.
make him evil. Give him a black cape. 1 year and fucking it. It's they're trying to sell comic books, but in the movie, like the first movie, he was kind of a bitch. And then
Man of Steel.
in this, he's still a bitch, and it's like Superman shouldn't be petty and lame. Like he should be, he's
Superman?
fucking the most
He's
powerful
above
person.
all of
He's not very
Yeah.
petty though. He's not petty in the movie, like either. Like in Batman v Superman. In Batman v Superman, he's investigating the Batman because the Batman's doing very questionable things. And then they just end up crossing paths. He tells the Batman to stop because he feels he's putting people in danger because people are getting murdered in prison because he's branding people because he's fucking insane. And so he's just investigating that, and he tells him to stop. And Batman's like, "I'm gonna fucking kill you," and that's the movie.
Oh, can we take
I
a
don't know.
minute to see what that's so? Oh my goodness.
I forgot that they got rid of
How do you say
Superman's
that?
ice breath. Oh, that's true, Hawksider.
Shikron? Can you see how you'd say that?
I missed the message.
Oh,
Help! You helped me from
he
being.
battled
help me-
cancer
Oh.
and was in the hospital in
I'm-
2014. Most of the time, watched our videos and was just saying thank you.
Aw,
So I said that was super, super
That's
seen the
kind.
awesome.
Let me go back.
I'm glad we could help in any way. That's nice.
awesome.
Steph wants to read it.
Steph has control of the
Hey
chat.
guys, haven't watched anything for about a month. Just life getting busy, but I want to thank you guys for doing what you do. I fought cancer twice in the last 4 years. My goodness.
Oh goodness, I'm
I
sorry.
spent most of 2014 in the hospital. You guys and many other YouTubers helped me from being bored in the hospital. Well, that's
I'm glad we were able to keep you occupied.
Yes, yes,
Keep
yes.
your mind
Yeah.
off of it.
yes. Glad you're.
Keep it up. Keep up the fight.
Oh yeah. Steph is messaging you now. Anyway, so yeah, that's all. That's apparently currently Josh Gad has been tweeting a lot about stuff. He tweeted a picture of the Penguin recently, and it was the Penguin saying "Make me," and like that's all he tweeted, and everybody was like, "Oh, is he gonna be
Josh
the
Gad's
Penguin?"
a weirdo.
Josh Gad's trying to drum up a lot of viral stuff recently, but yeah, everybody's like, "Oh, is he gonna play the Penguin?" And then he was in an interview. He was like, "Oh no, that was just me playing around. Nothing. There's nothing going on." And then
Probably got a slap on the wrist.
and then
about
he
it.
posted a picture in the DC offices with Jeff Johns, who's the head of the DC movie. He's the Kevin Feige of DC, and one of the other people there. And he was like, "Nothing to see here." And then so he's just a lot of people are speculating and or
Goodness.
wondering if he's
Awesome.
oh awesome.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Shakran. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it, and we're glad we can help out in any way.
Yeah, for
But
darn
yeah, so
sure.
that's a thing. Josh Gad, Penguin, maybe? I don't know. Before they had Joe Manganiello, no. I can't remember his name, the guy from the Pee-wee movie on Netflix and other things. He's been in a lot of stuff. He's married to Vera Farmiga, or not Vera Farmiga, the lady who talks like this on that one show. Planned Parenthood. Or not Planned Parenthood. the
Sophia Vergara.
Vergara.
Sofia Vergara, yes,
Yeah.
I said Vera Farmiga. Yeah, he's married to her. So he was set to play Deathstroke in Ben Affleck's movie when he was directing and writing it, and then they threw that script out and are going from scratch apparently. So that's what's happening with that.
Batman has so many fucking better. I mean, Bane, sure, but Bane wasn't like too. I mean, nah. When did this
Danny
become
DeVito.
the Batman podcast?
I know we have been talking very, very.
It's all
Batman-y.
your fault, Jared.
But we haven't really hit a lot of this news, though. We haven't hit a lot of the news throughout the weeks. Been keeping it to myself. We haven't been spawning
I
up.
do have-
You give the best bat chat. You know, these guys are just like, yeah, that's cool.
I do have a big story.
Wait,
What's the story?
let me
Fuck
answer
Batman.
Reaver's question.
Oh.
Reaver, Jared isn't on Skype. He's sitting right next to Dan. What are
Yeah.
you talking about? Can you not see him right there? He's right there. Okay.
Right there.
Anyway, Steph, what's your big story?
Well, I saw, and this was like a few days ago, so it's not big anymore, but it was huge at the time. Amal and Clooney had their twins.
Amal and Clooney,
Amal,
George Clooney.
George Clooney's wife, had her
Oh,
twins.
I didn't know who he's married to.
Yeah.
They had twins.
That's
They
your
had
big
twins.
news.
What's
So-
their names?
Wow.
Fantastic.
She doesn't
All
even
right.
know anything about
Any
the
more to
story.
that story?
So to go off
That's
of
so awesome.
one more thing I had about Wonder Woman. There was actually okay. So not technically, it's just because it was at the Wonder Woman theater. So I got the tickets. It's at the Alamo. Got the tickets to Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
And
You guys gone to Saloon's Lake yet?
no,
Ella
no.
and Alexander.
Oh,
Sorry.
no one cares.
Ella and
Wow,
Alex.
awesome.
Yep.
Clooney.
Just
no
so
one
you guys
cares about the
really
Clooney's.
cool.
know. And they
Stephanie.
love their kids. Okay.
Oh,
That's
that's
really
great.
cool.
That's my story
great.
for today.
It's really cool.
So anyway, went to the Alamo, and it was like a 9 o'clock. It was later showing.
What are you
And-
complaining about?
I get the tickets right next to some other people that had booked tickets, but the theater wasn't full by any means. But I still wanted to kind of be towards the center, so I was like, "Yeah, I'll just sit next to somebody." I got lucky because I got to sit next to possibly one of the grouchiest, weird,
Oh, he
like
was so funny.
40-something
love that
nerd
guy.
level dude that was like, first off, I walked up to sit down on my seat, and he is sitting there, legs spread as about as far wide as he could, like pretty much saying to me right there that's like, oh, you want this seat that you have next to me, because you should sit one over if you really want to sit here. Like, it just obviously, because I sat down like this, he still didn't move, and I reached over, grabbed the armrest and slowly brought it down as it was brushing his arm, and he just slowly kind of like moved it over, and then he started going like this with his legs,
I wasn't
bumping into me. I was sitting
watching
there
him.
like this, like leaning away from him, because I was like, okay, whatever, I don't want to
Why'd you say
intrude on him.
anything?
Oh, I didn't really care or anything.
To us, I didn't hear. I just heard him talking. And
Oh, I wasn't gonna be like,
commentating
man, this
the whole
guy
time.
is just no. This guy was like, he was sitting there because
Oh.
he obviously didn't want me sitting next to him. He was like, I want some room here. So he's sitting there, he's just bouncing his legs like this, just running into it.
Jared's clicking.
Jared hasn't blinked in so long. How does he do it? I don't know.
Here's clicking.
He's pretty
Yeah,
good.
we can hear
his
the
mic,
clicking
his mic
on
auto
buttons.
adjusts when he's not talking. So anyway, yeah, he's sitting there just kind of bouncing his legs the entire time, and I don't know what to do, because like this guy is just obviously perturbed at the fact that I'm sitting next to him. And then the armrest that I put down, he takes it. He takes the entire armrest that I put down and just sits there and just takes up the entire thing. And the rest of the movie, he slowly kind of eased off. And eventually, when we laughed at the same thing, he looked over at me for a second while laughing, because we kind of laughed at the same thing. And then he was fine the rest of the time.
That's weird.
And then he got up at the end, and his crack was just right in my face. And that's the story of the theater with
I
that
don't
weird
remember.
dude.
I was not a part of any of this.
No, because you were on the other side of me. I was the one that had to deal with it.
Oh.
During Alien Covenant, I had this old couple. I usually sit on the left, Liz sits on the right, and there's this old couple next to us who was just like, they were going about their regular like living room conversation just loudly next to us on their cell phones, and they're like going through the news and reading the headlines to each other. You know, like
During
how
the
I do
movie?
during like the workday. I would be
Yeah.
like, "Oh, you hear this
Yeah.
headline?" They're like, "You hear what Trump did today?" And they're like, "Oh, I can't believe that, honey." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, it's all stuff."
Wait, during the movie?
No, before the
Oh.
movie started. It was
Okay.
it was
I
during
was
the
like,
pre
geez.
stuff, but
Yeah.
they were just like having a normal voiced conversation. Just because usually I'll be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, that looks pretty cool. I want to, what is
Even
this video?"
before
or
the
whatever.
movie, it's usually better to you stay
Yeah, just-
somewhat
Well, yeah,
quiet.
I'm not saying that they were being obnoxious. It was just funny them having
Yeah,
this
yeah.
unabashed conversation
Yeah.
out loud to everybody
Oh,
around
old
them.
people.
They were pretty good.
You
They're the
are an
worst.
old person.
Yes, they are,
At
Jared.
Deadpool, we had a guy to the left of me who brought a date. It was a first date.
Ooh.
and they must have met on a dating site or something. But I mean, why would you do a movie for the first date? Like they
you
were
don't have to
talking
talk to each other.
They were talking a little bit, but then like at points he would lean to her because he was a big nerd guy, and she was like, "Oh, okay," and didn't really know. Like
Just regretting every second of
like
being
I
there.
don't. It didn't seem like it had landed by the end of it when they were kind of shuffling out. I think they
Yeah.
both liked the movie, but I don't know
not each other.
I don't know about
so
each other.
much. Well,
That's so cute.
anyway, to get off of the
So,
movie
so you
topic.
didn't say, "Hey man, are you going to get laid at?" As they were walking away.
Yeah, yeah.
You should-
Like the movie
You
inspired
gotta,
me.
Pretty good.
you gotta help a guy out,
Yeah, nothing like just watching Deadpool for them to get in the mood,
Or I could have been
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
man, I think you really watched this
They do
movie
it a
very
ton
well.
in that movie.
It's a romantic comedy.
They do it a lot at the beginning.
Yeah, if anything,
They do.
he should have leaned over and be like, "Hey, will you fuck me with a dildo?"
yeah, exactly. Isn't she fisting him?
Something.
No, I thought she was wearing a strap
Yeah, I
on.
think she had a
she was
strap
wearing a
on.
strap because he's just like,
Oh,
Valentine's Day.
Deadpool.
I've watched the bloopers of that scene when he's like, okay, I'm not doing it. That's it. We're done. By the end of it.
So funny.
Pretty good.
Goodness.
Deadpool.
They must have shot like a couple days on just all that sex stuff they did in the beginning of that.
Yeah. Good old
Indeed.
Deadpool.
All right, movie topics. Off.
Yeah, we talked about it for the first good half
Back
of
to
this.
George
didn't talk
Clooney's
about the other
babies.
movies we
Yes.
saw.
What?
We didn't talk about Fist Fight.
Clooney babies.
Yeah, Fist Fight was pretty good.
Have you seen that, Jared?
Yeah, it came. But didn't that come out like 2 months ago?
That came out a
Yeah,
while
we
Yeah.
ago.
saw it on demand.
It just came out
keeping
on-
topical, kids. Keeping topical.
Did you like it though?
Yeah, it was fine.
Yeah.
Anything with Charlie Day is good.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I liked it.
Charlie Day should be the new Batman.
He does give me an anxiety attack sometimes.
Ice Cube. Where's Rachel?
Oh my
Where did you put Rachel?
Is that what he says a lot in the movie, or is that something?
Rachel?
No, he was tying in Charlie Day with Batman.
So you guys enjoyed that? It was good?
Yeah, it was
I did.
good.
It was funny. I
It
thought
was good for the ratings it had. I was like, comedies are usually, among ratings wise, are very fluctuant. So sometimes it
Yeah.
can
It's
be
all-
really
it's all
funny,
dependent
but
on
be
taste
rated
and
low.
stuff.
Yeah, it's all taste wise, and it was good though. I liked
There are
it.
a few parts where I laughed out loud.
Nightman.
Nightman.
Nightman, bringer of the day, man.
Wait, other way. Other way.
Day man, bringer of the night, man.
There you go.
Speaking
Wow.
of movies, I've been watching the Friday the 13th movies.
Oh yes.
We've been going through and watching them, and we watched the first one, second one, third one, fourth one. Fourth one was the final chapter. 1 year later, the Friday the 13th 5, A New Beginning. It keeps going. It just keeps going.
There's a ton of them.
There's 11 of those movies total,
Oh.
not including Freddy vs. Jason.
Doesn't he go to space? Too?
Jason X, Jason 10, he goes to space.
Really?
We actually skipped ahead and watched that one recently. Well, we didn't finish it, but
They're
how was
making-
the Crispin Glover dance was amazing. Crispin Glover has the weirdest fucking dance in one of the scenes, and I remember seeing that in one of the videos. It's just like
In
odd
what?
moments, Mojo's top whatever odd moments in a movie or whatever, and he has this really weird scene where he's just like,
What?
What's wrong with that?
"That's how you dance, actually."
That's how I dance. I'm having a hard time seeing how this is.
Hey, Jared, could you show us what the dance is like?
There you go.
Oh man, that is pretty much like
Just
in
run
the
over
movie.
there
Wait,
and rotate his image around in a circle.
Yeah, just shake him violently.
Wait, Friday the 13th he does?
Crispin Glover, yeah, he has a really weird dance.
Oh.
He's just
Which one is he in?
the third one or the
Yeah, I was gonna
second
say-
one.
Okay.
Because I found the first
Okay.
one. The first one's really good. It has a really good pace, and then the second half of the movie, they draw out the most boring shit. Like there's did I talk about this last week? I feel like I talked about this last week. They draw out
Like
the
you
most
said,
boring
I'm pretty
shit.
sure you talked about it on your stream.
It must be on my stream. They draw it out, and they show her like there's like a 3-minute scene of her making coffee in the first movie. She's making coffee. She's putting a pot, and this is after like like there's shit going down. She's one of the few people left, and she's just making coffee. Okay. Now she's going to the pantry now. Oh, she's grabbing something from the pantry to continue making the coffee. And then it happened a couple times throughout the movie, and it moves at such a pace where they're just killing people left and right in the beginning, and then the last half is just pretty much down to her, and they're running around. But the second one is kind of like Evil Dead 2, where it's like a remake of the first one almost.
Yeah.
But they just make it so much better because the pacing in that's perfect, and they have a lot of people to kill. And Jordan's on his phone. Jared's on his phone.
I'm not. I'm here.
Hey, listen, I'm looking up the Crispin Glover
Oh,
dance.
it's
do
Wait,
it.
wait,
Do it. It's amazing. The second one's pretty damn good.
Baby
Longest cold
brain
open
and
ever.
hot
Oh yeah,
Holy shit! I just saw. I'm watching. The
it's
dance
incredible.
right now.
It's incredible.
This is Jordan. This is absolutely how Jordan
Yeah,
dances.
and the thing is, each movie, the first 4 movies, all start off with a previously on and show the end of the previous movie every single time. So we're watching them in a row and we're marathoning them.
Yeah.
There's points where we're watching 2 or 3 at a time, and they just showed the same. It's like 5-6 minutes of the ending of the last movie. Why start a movie like that?
I don't know.
Because
Those
it
were
was
the
the
80s,
fucking
man.
70s and 80s, man. Like,
Yeah, it was
70s,
before.
80s,
That way it makes it so you
man.
don't have to see it, and you don't have. I get you don't have video at the time as well, or well, you do have video, but you have it's home video is certainly not as big of a thing as I can kind of see that. But what other movie franchise does that really?
I mean, TV did
Oh, yeah,
that.
TV
I mean,
does that, but that's also
was
because-
that was so
Wait.
common for TV shows to show the previous fucking week, let alone year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, for Back to the Future, for part 2, they show a good chunk of part 3 at the very end of part 2.
Oh,
The
they do have
Western,
the preview. They have the preview.
They have a
That-
huge preview
that's
at
one
the end of it where they show, like-
Isn't that after the credits though, or is that
It's right after the movie.
right after the movie? I got you. No,
Because
you're
they
right.
had it on the gym. They had 1, 2, 3. So
It's because they filmed the second and the third at the same time, and they're
Yeah.
like, "Don't worry, there's a third coming around."
yeah, it was funny.
kinda
It
like
was
The
like
Matrix.
it was
They
like
did that
coming
as well.
soon in 1999, I think it said, and I was like, Jesus. Those
did that-
movies are so good though too. I forgot
Oh,
about
those
this,
are
but
so good, and they're very redundant, but they're kind of meant to be
He
redundant.
hasn't seen the second one.
Oh,
He's
the
only
second
seen the
Not
first
that I
one.
remember. Like, I remember the Western one the most.
That's the third one.
That's a pretty
And
good
then,
one.
Like,
I like all
besides
three
that,
of them.
I don't really remember them
first two
too
were the
specifically.
best.
I think I've seen second the least, but hydrate level 4, please. I always, we always quote it a lot because she just puts a little tiny
Gigawatts.
pizza thing in there, and
yeah.
then she opens it up, and it's a big pizza. And it was
Yeah.
freeze-dried food.
Yep, that's when they're in the future.
1989. But they did the Matrix as well. At the end of
Matrix does too.
Reloaded, after the credits, they had a teaser for Revolutions, and it was just like a teaser trailer,
that's
pretty
fun.
much, with a different Oracle. It sucked that lady died when they were filming the two. The lady who played the Oracle.
Oh.
So they replaced her in the third one, and they kind of gave a wishy-washy, like, I had to make a sacrifice, and now she's in this form. She's in a different form because it's a different actress, because the lady passed away. Anyway, you need to watch the seventh one. That's my fave. Waterlogged Zombie Jason. Oh, okay. Yeah, we got to New Beginning. I think that's the last one we watched with... Or no, we watched... two past that, because we watched when Tommy Jarvis was older, that guy who's in the game.
Yep.
See, that's the thing, is Liz wanted to watch him because she wanted to, like, have context for the game, and Tommy Jarvis is weird. He started off as Corey Feldman. Corey Feldman played the
Corey
kid
Feldman.
in one of the movies, and then he grows up in the next movie. Like, they have him as a kid in the beginning of that next
Okay,
movie,
okay.
and then he wakes up and it was a dream. So
Teddy.
he's older then, and so he's in like a mental thing. And it's pretty good. The series isn't terrible, but it's definitely interesting as it goes on.
When they do it in space, that's when they start
Yeah.
really grasping at straws.
I think they knew, though. I think, watching it, I think it knows a little bit. Some of it's not all there. It's definitely
Yeah.
pretty crappy. But
Well, they were self-aware. They had,
Oh, yeah.
They were making. I mean, it's kind of like the Conjurings or whatnot, where it's like, I mean, if you look at the gross, how much money those fucking movies made for how much they cost to make. I mean, that's why horror movies are just
They're so
constantly
lucrative.
pumped out.
like
They're
Nightmare.
so fucking lucrative.
Nightmare on Elm Street. We actually went through all those before we went through the Fridays, and I watched every single one of them. And we watched the special features afterwards, and every single time they're like, "Yeah, we didn't have any money, and we were really rushing to get this out, and it's kind of unfortunate he got one of the crappiest scripts." And like, they're just talking like that during the entire time. They're like, "Yeah, we kind of just threw it together, and we were rushing to get a director, and we barely got it out there." They didn't really care about what director they had. They just wanted somebody they could kind of wrangle to get it done with a lot of them. And that series definitely declines as it goes on, much like the Friday the 13th series.
So it's kind of like YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. Gung-ho at first, and then...
Just get it out. Just
Just
get it
get it
out.
out.
the door.
Get it out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just poop it out as fast as you possibly can, and then it's all good.
Oh.
Then it's home video receipts. Yeah,
So
it's,
Jordan, speaking of Friday the 13th, have you seen if they've got a space level?
I'm not at liberty to. No, there's no space level. I have no idea.
That's a
I'm
missed
on the
opportunity.
external dev team. Okay, I don't know any of that.
Yeah,
inner
Jordan's a
workings.
contractor.
Yeah.
I have no idea the secrets that may be held behind those massive Friday the 13th
Do they plan?
doors.
Was that ever part of the Kickstarter campaign? Do they plan on continuing to update it, or
They had,
or
yeah,
is it just
they're
launch and
working
done?
on
Yeah, they
some.
got a ton of
yeah, they
shit.
got a
Okay,
bunch of
that's what I
stuff that
thought.
they're going to be adding to it. They just wanted to get it
killer.
out to kind of meet the initial deadline, and then they're going to start adding more stuff.
Yeah.
And a lot of the kickstarting goals weren't met. There's a lot of stretch goals that kind of included different things that
Yeah.
weren't met. But after they finally were able to sell it, then that's when they can
now that they can
kind of take a second look and be like, okay, what can we do from here? Now that the game is shipped and everything, because their main goal is just to get it out there and get it going for everyone. So.
I haven't played too much of it yet. I definitely need to play.
Oh,
a bit
so
of-
I
more
was
of it.
telling people it's like the first game in a while that I've enjoyed playing by myself, even though I don't have friends to play with. I love playing it with friends.
Dude, let's all play.
Don't have friends to play with.
I was just laughing at you saying I don't have friends to play with.
Well, I don't all the time. No one ever plays with me.
I haven't. I
You
haven't
have
been
plenty
able
of
to
friends
put
that'll
any-
play games
any
with
minute.
you.
But anyway,
What are you talking
it
about?
has
No, it's people he likes though.
it has a phenomenal
Ouch.
proximity chat feature that makes it so much
yeah.
more interesting. Like if it didn't have proximity chat, it would take away a lot from it. But the fact that it has that and the fact that
said
you can
hi.
pick up walkie-talkies and stuff and talk to other people with walkie-talkies is really cool. It's a lot of fun.
Really? That's how they do that.
Yeah. So it's a proximity of 100 yards. You can talk to someone. If they're far away, they're really quiet. But if they get closer, they're louder. And vice versa. If Jason's around and he hears people talking, he'll know you're around. But then you can talk to people on the other side of the map if you both pick up walkie-talkies that you find.
Oh, that's pretty rad.
Yeah. So
I want to play and put like a voice modulator, just so you
Spoon,
could fuck around, be like a little kid.
Spoon was doing claptrap as Jason.
Oh, that's awesome.
On one of his streams, he turned on his claptrap
there.
filter. He was like, "Hello, travelers!" He'd storm in
Oh,
on him and
funny.
kill them all. So
We could probably just get Eddings to do claptrap. Like he would love to fucking play. Like
just
he's
be
always
like,
been
okay.
bugging
You
to
just be
play
like,
games.
David, you just gotta play around for a little bit as Jason. Then we'll give him the filter
Yeah.
because
let claptrap actually. That would be fucking funny, man.
it'd be pretty good. Okay, so let's chat really quick about today's sponsor, Blue Apron. This is actually gonna be really fun because I finally got a chance to try Blue Apron.
Multiple
So-
times we've
yeah.
cooked it.
If you guys didn't know what Blue Apron is, Blue Apron is the #1 fresh ingredient and recipe delivery service in the country. Basically, what they do is you pay to have them send ingredients to your house, and the ingredients are super fresh. They're responsibly sourced. They work with a bunch of local farms and fisheries and stuff. And they give you a few meals that you go with your family to cook up every night. It's very affordable, so that it makes it so that you can have restaurant quality food for under $10 a person. So it's really awesome in that way. And they have a bunch of really, really delicious stuff. I actually have the newest selection of menus that are coming together right now. From the first ones, featured upcoming meals include the warm smoked trout and asparagus salad with fingerling potatoes, and garlic croutons.
Potatoes, precious.
Spiced
Yum.
zucchini enchiladas with creamy lime and tomato rice.
Okay, I'm all about that.
Elote style vegetable tostadas with summer squash, poblano peppers, and cilantro rice. Peach honey glazed chicken with mashed sweet potatoes, collard greens, and Thai basil. Whew.
That all sounds fantastic.
Sounds
Yes,
really
I love sweet potatoes. That's really
Yes.
exciting. But so they send you all the ingredients in a box, in a refrigerated box. You throw everything in your fridge. We finally got it. So we cooked a few different meals. It takes about 45 minutes on average to prepare them. They have a really nice list that they give you, a recipe sheet. And they give you all the ingredients, and you just
The
kind of go
instructions.
through all the instructions for cooking it, prep stuff. And it comes together to some really fantastic stuff that, I'm not that great at cooking, but I was able to bring it
Follow the
together.
instructions and-
it was, every single meal we've had was absolutely delicious.
Oh,
Does it make you
gosh.
feel good? Does it make you feel like a master chef?
Oh
Yes.
yeah, definitely. It
It's
makes
so
you
much better
you
than,
like,
like-
you like
master chef. You just have Blue Apron, which is delicious.
you're like garnishing stuff, and it's like, ooh, I'm using garnishes on things.
Yeah.
I feel special. But so it's super awesome. Really, definitely enjoyed being able to try it out. So it was a very
What was
good
the
experience.
one we had with the the noodles and shrimp.
There's a shrimp and squid ink spaghetti.
It was so good.
with snap
I can't even
peas or
tell you how good it
something.
was.
Squid ink spaghetti.
I
Is
haven't
it,
either.
delicious.
is it any different than regular spaghetti? I've always kind of
No,
wondered.
it's about the same. It has a little bit different of a taste, but barely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
It was
mostly
so
a
good. The
color
cream with it.
thing.
Oh.
I've
my
seen those
gosh.
at the grocery store before.
Yeah, but it was super good. But anyway, yeah, it's very awesome, and it's very flexible, so you can like adjust your menus and stuff to fit your needs if you're vegetarian or whatnot. But if you guys want to check out this week's menu and get your first 3 meals free with free shipping, you can go to blueapron.com/hub. You're gonna love how good it feels and tastes to create incredible home cooked meals with Blue Apron. So don't wait. That's blueapron.com/hub. Blue Apron, a better way to cook. So thank you very much, Blue Apron, for sponsoring. And I
Yes.
can't wait to have my next meal delivered because they're darn good.
It's so good.
But I've been washing dishes, and it's really hard to wash the dishes.
You guys,
That's the
'cause you
hardest
guys eat
part
out
of it.
so much, right?
How many
Before-
times have you
Paper
washed
plates.
the dishes, Jordan?
Paper plates, but no, you need
Paper
well, you
plates.
need the
We're out of
pans
paper
and
plates.
stuff.
Wait, how many
What?
times have you washed the dishes?
So back to Friday the 13th.
I cook
do
all
the
the time,
dishes
and
all
I
the
have to.
time.
I always have to put pans in the I always have to
Yeah.
keep the rotation pretty regular because when I'm making hash browns or eggs or something, I'm always having.
Yeah.
It's
to,
well worth it though.
yeah, or
Well worth
pancakes
it.
or.
'Cause you don't do the dishes, Jordan.
Oh man, it's so hot in here.
Yes.
It is pretty damn hot.
Yeah?
You need to stop it.
No, he doesn't do the dishes. He did them for me once, actually. It was just super nice. But other than that, he doesn't do
Valentine's
dishes.
Day, though, right?
Huh?
It was Valentine's Day, though, right?
I think I was just bored one
I
time.
don't think he. I think he just didn't have anything to do once. I was like, you could do the dishes.
Sometimes
for me.
I'll
That'd be
have
great.
like a weird urge just to clean up everything and be very strict about, everything.
That's your OCD kicking in.
Yeah,
That
I
OCD
have
hasn't kicked in in a
random
Is that
Long
when you
instances.
have to start cutting yourself too?
Huh?
Is that when you have to start cutting yourself to feel?
What are you talking about,
I
Jared?
wanna feel.
When you're,
I wanna
all your
heal.
OCD kicks in
I don't understand.
because you've got autism.
Cut my lips into pieces.
Jared, I don't
This is
understand what
my
you're trying to
last
say right now.
resort. I know.
I'm making fun of you.
Well, let me try to put my hand on his mouth.
I don't think
just
it's going to work. It's going to go
It's not
behind.
going to work. It's not going to work.
I can't
Dan.
get in front
can't
of you.
Shut me up.
Your
This is
face
gonna
is so
be-
far ahead. I don't get it.
You can't shut me up, Dan.
Oh yeah, I can. Now we can't hear him. But the stream can hear him. I don't know if
the
I like
stream can.
that.
Yeah, don't unmute him quick so we can hear him again.
I looked up slub stories, by the way, but it's not. It's, what for topics? Because he had brought up the twins. They're the twins.
Are the
But
twins dating
everything
anybody
right now
yet?
is
Twins dating anybody yet?
no, not yet.
Okay.
But no. But the only thing really going on right now is the Bill Cosby trials,
Oh yeah, the Bill
Okay.
Cosby
which
trials
are
are going
pretty
on right now.
difficult. And then
Good luck with that. I haven't really
yeah.
been following too much of it, but a little bit.
Yeah. So I don't really feel like getting into that topic, so I think we're good on celebrity.
So
Content.
why'd you even bring it up?
Because I'm telling you, that's what I saw when I
Go
looked
ahead,
at
Dan.
All right, content update wise on the channel and all that jazz. We're still kind of at the minimal posting schedule currently. Where we have a foodies that Steph's going to be working
Editing,
on for
yeah.
this next coming week. We have we have a short that we're planning on shooting next week that should be pretty fun.
I'm pretty stoked for that. It's gonna be fun.
And all that jazz.
Yeah.
But we're still kind of weighing options, trying to do stuff, and all that jazz. It's still kind of at the same place it was. Still trying to figure it all out.
Yep.
Adpocalypse post-wise.
yeah.
It's been fun. I've just been keeping busy with. I haven't even had a chance to stream for like a week because I've just been working on cinematic stuff. So
Oh, yeah.
been busy doing that. But when I do have a chance, I usually stream. I think my next step, I need to record the Dark Souls DLC.
Ooh.
I've been meaning to, but I just haven't had a chance to. So,
Yeah.
but I don't know how long it's going to be. Does anyone know how long the Dark Souls DLC is?
The first one?
Yeah.
Do they even interact with chat? A little bit.
Here and there.
Well, and
it's hard to
there's
see. I
massive things
can't
going through.
see it for the most
I mean,
part.
we have so many
because-
amazing messages in there, as well as some actually really amazing messages in there.
Yeah. We'll talk about those ones.
There's some sarcastic there and some not.
See, I have to like.
You guys should play the
Squint.
Friday 13th on the channel, please. I'm almost certain that will be a thing that happens at some point. Do
We
not you
should,
worry.
even if it's just from home.
Yeah.
Like that would be fine. We should totally do that because it is definitely a lot of fun.
Yeah, we just had our Portal Nights video go up. Portal Nights is
Yeah, a lot of
it's
people
live.
were asking us to play that, and we actually landed a sponsorship through them too.
Yep.
So that kind of worked hand in hand.
So we played that, but that we were both at home because we were going to do it here, but I can't remember what issue we ended up having. But so we ended up doing that night when we went home, and that was pretty good. And it
I
was,
got sick.
It worked out. Oh yeah, that's you because you were going to be a part of it as well.
Yeah, the
and
three
we
of
were,
us were practicing, and we were playing and having a good time with it, and then I got sick, and you guys were like, well, we can just shoot
we
tonight.
did play it a fair
So.
bit.
Snapper rules.
Yes.
That message is amazing that you just left there saying, is this message amazing?
Yes, and
Hey.
then the message shortly below that was not as amazing. Well, that was the sarcastic amazing one. But yes.
Yes.
Dun, dun, dun.
No, I'm just laughing at the chat. That's pretty good.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else that's. I mean, has there been anything happening?
Well, E3 next week.
E3 is coming
E3,
up.
LA.
Bethesda making an announcement. Hopefully, the next Elder Scrolls game, they maybe have a little bit something more solid for that. Hopefully, and I think Rockstar's going to be having a presence this year, correct? With Red Dead,
there?
I believe.
Rockstar's launching a new GTA
No way.
online expansion.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's called like
It's
Gun Runners or
Weapon
something.
Runner, Gunner, yeah. It's pretty dope.
There was a GTA machinima I had started to make a million years ago called Runner, about a gun runner.
That's running guns.
Yeah.
He's running
Jordan's
guns.
going to E3, right? You're going
Yeah,
to E3? So
I'm
Jordan's going to be at
probably
E3.
A quick trip. I don't even know if I'll be on the show floor at all. But
Happy birthday, and
so I mean, Jared, you were saying that only Friday is open to the
I hope I
public.
said that right.
I heard that Thursday and Friday, maybe. I know that there's like some days that are closed and it's just industry, which is when all the industry people will be trying to do as much as they can, and then as soon as it's open to the public,
They'll
everyone's going to try to
abandon
fucking
everything.
get the shit out of there, because that'll be insane. I mean, it's not built like PAX, so there's going to be a couple 100,000 people just trying to play Destiny.
Oh yeah, Destiny 2 is going to be there. I'm trying to see if there's anything like specific trending right now. How do you even get to the trend thing anymore?
Trend. Jordan's solo road to E3. There you go.
Hey.
It'll be Jordan
That's
on one of.
pretty good.
It'll be you on one of those little treadmill things at the airport, and you're just like, "All right, guys, we're on the road."
That's what I did when we
Now we're
went
on the
to
tarmac. The tarmac to
Birmingham.
E3.
I was filming myself myself all the time.
Oh yeah.
I have all the
yeah.
stuff, but I don't know what I'm.
Did you never include any of it?
I have
into
a
the-
video from Birmingham that I edited together. It's just sitting on my. I don't know if I want to do it though.
put it
Just
on your
because all of
channel.
it's like me, just updates. Like, hey, this is what we're doing, and then it's like me
Isn't it
saying,
what
Jordan
vlog is?
hitchhikes to E3.
"Oh gosh, he's not gonna make it back."
Hitchhiking across America.
That is not.
Hi, I'm Jordan, and I'm hitchhiking across America.
I can't drive myself
See
at all.
you
It
in
always
hitchhike.
has to be a stranger. And you get stabbed.
I'll get stabbed several times.
Jordan,
I'm trying to look at see if there's anything like interesting trending that we could touch on.
Tarmac to E3.
we could do that trending game that you wanted to do multiple times and never did again.
Trending game?
You'd look up a hashtag and we'd have to guess what it was or whatever.
Well, yeah, that's why I'm looking here,
Oh.
trying to figure out what in the world. There isn't anything quite as interesting as that day. I think we stumbled upon something real weird that day that I don't think is going to happen again.
What are we talking about?
Because remember that time I looked up that weird trending thing, and there
Yes.
was like that weird like orgy happening. in
Yes,
Atlanta
yeah,
or
yes.
something.
I do remember that.
Yeah, so trying to look up something like that, but there's not really anything
I'd
too
love
crazy
to go to
happening.
Australia. I wish.
Yeah, you should considering coming to any Australian game conventions if we get brought out, for sure. It's very expensive to travel internationally. It's been super awesome being able to make it to the UK for the Insomnia events.
Weed Whacker Willie's Road to Kill Weeds at E3.
Weed Whacker Willie goes to
Weed Whacker Willie was quite the character.
You see here, I play the video games like I whack weeds.
Here's an interesting headline. Critics are unwrapping their Mummy reviews.
It's getting very bad early reviews.
Yeah, I love Tom Cruise too, but I mean, it looks like it was going to be.
Tom Cruise, yeah. But, like I was
But it
one
is.
of the reviews said that just his character doesn't allow for his charisma to really come through. It's kind of like Suicide Squad. That movie isn't necessarily the best, but Will Smith is great in Suicide Squad. I think like he's very magnetic
He does
and
what he
very
can with
charming.
it, yeah.
Will Smith, but apparently his character wise isn't that great in The Mummy. He's kind of a bit more stiff.
Oh,
So a couple things here that are
Okay.
celeb headlines, way better than twins being born. Ed Sheeran fit 55 Maltesers in his mouth.
What
Was that on Carpool Karaoke with James Corden?
Yes, it was.
I'm so excited to watch that.
55 Maltesers. That's pretty ridiculous.
I want to watch. I love Carpool Karaoke.
Even better, I actually heard the audio around this. Jerry Seinfeld awkwardly denied Kesha a hug. at some kind of
Why?
interview.
What's
Kesha
wrong?
hug.
So
What's Kesha? I love
Seinfeld
Kesha.
was doing an interview, like a red carpet thing or whatever, and she comes up and interrupts and is like, "Can I give you a hug?" And he's like, "No, please, just a little. No, please, just a little tiny hug. No." Okay.
That's awesome.
And she walks away and he's like, "I have no idea who that was." And the person's like, "That was Kesha," and he's like, "Oh."
Even then, though, who just comes up and you like,
Yeah, while you're interviewing.
yeah, while you're being interviewed and
I
expect
guess she
a
got
hug.
a little eccentric, but
Like-
I love her. I really do.
Did she have her eye makeup on and stuff?
Taste.
I don't know. I just heard the audio, so I don't know.
He thought Kesha was a stranger. Well, even then, even if I knew it was Kesha, I guess I would hug it if I knew it was Kesha. But if you thought it was a stranger, then that's a little
Not
presumptuous
if
of
you're
her.
Jerry
Smell like a-
Seinfeld. I mean, you don't need to starfuck when you're Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah, exactly.
It could be Pharrell, and you'd be like, yeah, no.
No.
Like, I don't need to hug you. I'm fucking Seinfeld, bro. Like,
She could have gone
that's
with
more.
it a
That's
little
definitely
differently.
more for her.
Yeah.
She could have just been like, "I'm a really big fan, thank you," and then just kept going or something.
Yeah.
She didn't have to
Or
freak
just
out.
wait
but
until
it's
the
an
interview was
interview.
done.
You don't do it.
That's
during
very
an interview.
awkward.
That's the thing that was awkward. Yeah, it was just.
Cash,
But from the sounds
why?
of it, it just sounded super awkward. I'm trying to watch a video
Oh, I do
right
have really
now.
big celeb news.
Oh
but
my goodness!
I do. No,
Stephanie,
listen, I
last
brought
time.
this up because I was so excited.
Will we roll our eyes to this?
Yes.
Damn it! I want to share
You
You
it.
can share it. I'm just saying. I wanted to know if you had a self-awareness of.
Oh, I know. Well, everything I say, I get eye rolls, but I don't
Not
care.
everything,
I'm gonna
but
say.
some
So
of them.
Sam Smith has been posting a ton of photos on Instagram, and he's
Nope, don't
recording a new
care.
album.
Don't care.
I care.
Ah.
I've been waiting
Okay.
forever. He's
I-
only had that one album come out.
I wouldn't know who he was if it weren't for the Bond theme, Spectre, which was writing on the
He-
Ready
walls.
for this
yeah,
gif?
I love it. Oh yeah. Is it Kesha
No.
going away in sadness?
Oh, he like backs up. She tries to like
Backs
move
up
in.
away from
Really?
her.
Wait, I want to
It
see.
doesn't even look like Kesha though. She's wearing a weird, super long blonde,
She looks
platinum
like,
blonde wig.
yeah. Oh my goodness.
She doesn't look like Kesha.
Cash, what are you thinking?
That's awkward.
Oh.
See, I thought when you started to read that it was awkward
can't
from his standpoint, but it's definitely awkward from her
Oh,
standpoint. I'd
no,
say.
both for
It's
sure,
very
but more
awkward,
so
yeah.
from hers.
I wonder
yeah.
if she's. Let me look at her Twitter because I follow her and see if she said anything about it.
Fuck Jerry Seinfeld.
Yes, but I was
Yeah.
really, really, really excited about the Sam Smith recording a new album. So I'm
I
sorry.
don't think there's anything
Brushing
else
my
happening.
teeth with a
What
bottle
happened
of
with the
Jack.
Pokemon news, by the way? Does anyone know what happened with that? Was there anything interesting?
Pokemon news?
Yeah,
Oh, there's
'cause there's
a
a
game.
Pokemon, like-
there's like a game. There's a fighting game for
Pokken?
the Switch. I don't know what it's called. I watched the trailer for it. It was.
Oh, with like the spring arms and all that shit.
There's only.
It was like it looked like just like a straight up Pokemon fighting game. Like it showed
Oh.
this guy going around, and I think he was visiting like his cousin or something like that. And he's like playing the game, and then he breaks off one of the Joy Cons and is like, "Here, you play too." And then they start playing, and then they're battling Pokemon, and
Oh, so it's an E3 announced game.
maybe
This is all-
Technically.
Pokken tournament. Yes, that's what it is.
Pokken tournament. So yeah, I was right.
You were right. I didn't know the name of it. I just saw
Pokken.
it, and it had a lot of like extra stuff in it. I couldn't make out what it was.
Gold and Silver, Pokken, and Sun and Moon sequel. What in the world? When are they gonna actually go out of their way to make a open world Pokemon game like Skyrim with Pokemon? Like when are they actually gonna
If
do
they-
that
yeah, if
instead
they
of just
do-
making the same thing over and over again?
If they made it like a really elaborate console version of the mobile game, well, the lure is that it's a more mobile game and you can play that. You know, it's a big time sucker, and I understand. Yeah,
They
there's
just released a Switch. Make it Switch one.
but all
You
like,
can still
so
release
many-
your little
so
top-down
many of
2D ones.
The Pokemon games have been like a lot of
Seinfeld.
development has kind of gone into those mobile games because it kind of works like Pokemon Go and just the mobile games
Oh yeah,
in general.
they could just steal Breath of the Wild's engine and use that. Like anything would be
Somewhat, yeah.
more interesting. I mean, I know people love the franchise and stuff, but
At least Pixelmon is an
Nintendo.
alternative. Yep, Pixelmon on Minecraft.
Yeah,
It's
no,
pretty much the
I've
closest
heard-
you're gonna get to it.
That pretty much is.
Lol.
Sad that you have to resort to a mod, but that's Nintendo for you.
Ooh,
That's Nintendo.
Now they've stopped manufacturing the 3DS, right? Aren't they just making 2D versions now? I believe is what I had read.
I'm not entirely sure.
I think that's kind of what they're not producing the 3DSs anymore, and they're just doing the 2DS XL. I think
you
they've
see okay?
abandoned it.
You go like this a lot when
It's
we're on
hard
the
when
hubcast, and you really
my
squint.
eyes have gotten worse over time, but it's light that makes it even harder because I can read it fine when I block out the light. So I usually have to put my hat down and go like this to look at it.
You always look like you're in distress. so I
Okay,
just-
to wrap things up, if most people didn't know, Jared has been in the gaming industry for quite some time, and I'm going to put you on the spot here, Jared. Tell us a quick, brief story of a very weird incident that's happened in the game industry from your exploits, without naming names, of course, unless you really want to.
We've certainly heard some
Because
stories.
we've heard some
but-
stories.
Yeah.
But if you
I
can't,
want.
But obviously not too many of them can be told.
Yeah. Well, okay. So I'll. Man.
Turn them up for this one. Turn them up.
Well, we can
Honestly, I think the one that Chuck, I'll tell too, because the one that Chuck from Ilphonics told us about the developer that hated the people that were throwing the party so much.
Oh yeah.
So
Alright,
Chuck,
so-
Okay,
so
go ahead.
Ilphonics, the developer of the Friday the 13th game.
But
Yes.
this was not Ilphonics though. I
Yes.
want to
Yeah,
to
make that
definitely
clear.
gauge
Oh
this.
yeah, definitely.
This was a story of the Ilphonics guys witnessing another developer going to a party that was being thrown by a very large publisher. They hated the publisher so much that one of the guys said, "Hey, check this out." He went into the bathroom, poured out his beer, pissed in the beer bottle, and then proceeded to go out to the dance floor and just shake the beer bottle and throw his urine all over
Oh
the
my
people in the
God.
party. Yeah. I mean,
I haven't heard that one. That's
Can you just imagine,
terrible.
like, hey man, how you doing? How's it going? Oh, I got my beer on you a little bit. Sorry, bro.
just like,
What's
Oh
going
my
on?
just like,
God.
think of how many times you've been at an E3 party and like someone kind of spills something on you. Like
have.
that's
Oh my
fucking
gosh.
that's next level shit. Another one that I'm really that I love to tell people is a CEO of a company that was game developers range in I mean they're like YouTubers. It's range in normalcy from like completely normal people that just happen to be doing it to people that are completely insane that lucked out and got it, are successful and are able to make money.
Yeah.
So this guy, single guy, very awkward, socially awkward, very strange, loved Dance Dance Revolution. He loved it so much that he bought a Dance Dance Revolution machine and put it into his garage. And so that summer, he spent his nights playing Dance Dance Revolution. And as anyone playing Dance Dance Revolution does, they get warm and hot. So he opened his garage door, and neighbor kids, riding their bicycles, see a guy playing Dance Dance Revolution, and, kids are now, getting excited, like, hey, there's a video game here. Well, because he was a normal, kind of didn't think about it. He's like, oh man, all these kids are coming to play Dance Dance Revolution in my garage. That's really cool. I'm going to buy a couple more
Oh no,
because he
I
had
don't
money.
know.
this is getting
So
creepy.
he-
Does the
yeah.
garage
he
door
ended
ever go
up-
down at any point during the story while kids are still inside?
And so
Oh, no.
let me finish this. So the summer comes and goes. The winter comes and this was in the Northwest, so of course it's rainy and whatnot. So parents start to notice a large number of children coming in and out of
Disappearing.
this guy's backyard throughout the
Oh, God.
the months, and decide to call the cops. And he gets essentially his doors get kicked in and put detained. The apparently like
I know that
someone
feeling.
Sorry.
Yes, and so he ended up having to explain to the cops, hey, I just had video games in my garage that kids would come and play, and I apparently because like most shitty neighborhoods, the parents that apparently called the cops also called the news. So
Oh,
the news
great.
showed up,
Stupid.
and
Oh, gosh.
it was it took many months, and luckily enough, it was back in the early '90s that there wasn't the internet, as the internet wasn't as strong, so it didn't go fucking
Didn't ruin his
viral.
reputation.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, but yeah, so like
Just put him on a list.
It apparently made the news. Like people saw it that worked for his company, because it was the news, and so they're of course going to start recording live. Like we're part of this, bust and da 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 da, and so they come in and yeah, it's pretty fucking crazy shit.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, pretty wild. So those are just two. Honestly, I've got fucking
Those are
millions.
two
might have to-
minor,
Yeah.
small things.
How do those
Small
people?
ones.
How do the people who call the cops not talk to the parents of, like, at least one of the parents of the kids first and be like, I've seen a lot
Dude,
of
I-
children going there. So
Yeah.
I live in a fairly rural town that parents people are fucking stupid. I mean,
That's
just
true.
plain and simple.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like let's just talk about the current state of affairs in the U.S. Like there's some people that really don't care, and they think one thing, and that's pretty much it. And so I guarantee you, it probably wasn't even apparent. It was probably some old lady that just sat there, in her window, seeing kids riding their bikes to, some house, coming out sweaty with smiles on their faces.
And with like popsicles, like
yeah, exactly.
He had popsicles this time.
Yay!
Oh,
Yeah,
my
super
God.
weird.
You
So,
kids, oh no.
yeah.
Goodness. Well, there's just a
Okay.
taste of some of Jared's stories.
I might have to get him
I'll
in every
start working
week.
on my Amazon ebook. Fucking A. There's so many fucked up stories, man. This industry is hilarious.
Well, that just means that you need to come back
Next week and so
future
podcast,
hubcasts and,
yeah.
and tell more stories.
Yes.
People
I'm
seem
sure,
to be more excited.
I'm sure you can get better guests than me.
That's true.
Yes, we
We can
can.
get more
Yeah,
holographic
yeah.
guests for the future.
Yeah,
on this,
exactly.
We were
on
just
this
testing
body.
the setup, okay? We were just
Exactly,
testing
yeah.
the body
Yeah.
here, okay?
Don't worry, you'll get people way more relevant than me.
We can't get you back next week, of course, so bye.
Gretzin.
Okay, well, that's about it for today's Hubcast. I just wanted to end it
yeah.
out on a nice little
Excuse me,
story
Jared.
note there. But yes, thank you very much, everyone, for watching today's Hubcast. We hope you enjoyed. And Jared, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, Jared.
Oh, thanks for
Nice
having me,
to
guys.
have you sitting right here on our couch.
High five.
But yeah,
mind.
that's about it. Thank you so much to Blue Apron for sponsoring this episode, and we will see you guys next week.
Maybe.
What?
Unless we're shooting.
What?
That,
Oh.
remember we said we might not be back next
We'll
week
see.
in case we were shooting that short, but we will be keeping updates on our Twitter and stuff.
You might be an A3 too,
Otherwise-
Jordan, right?
Adios.